Flylady Diane here. It is Monday. It's the second week of the month, which means that we are in zone 2, which is the kitchen. And if you are a former subscriber, you will know that I am not in my usual kitchen today. I am here in our Swedish summer house, our weekend cabin. I'm in our small, we've got a tiny cabin and a small kitchen. I'll just give you a quick tour. So here we are, that's the outside, and then behind me you can see the sink, and then if I just turn around slowly, through there is the dining room and the living room. The main difference between this kitchen and the kitchen that I have in home in Copenhagen is that we actually have cupboards. Can you see we've got overhead cupboards? And this kitchen is exactly as it was when we moved in, when we bought this place about 5 years ago. The previous owners had this summer house for 28 years. So, and we bought it lock, stock and barrel, and we haven't really changed anything. The only thing that I've done is painted all the cupboards white because they were, I think they were brown at the time. And you know, we're not ready to change the kitchen yet. That's going to be a big renovation. And you know, it's a summer cabin, doesn't have to be perfect. But anyway, I just wanted to check in with you today because it's zone 2. And as I said, in Denmark it's a holiday today. In Denmark, the church and the state are linked. We pay church tax. As you know, everybody pays church tax. It's a very small amount. And if you don't want to pay church tax, you can take yourself out of the system. But then you can't kind of expect to get married in the church or get buried, you know, in the graveyard. Anyway, we follow all the religious holidays. So it's Whitsun, I think that's right, today. And all the shops, stores, offices are closed. And it's also Danish Constitution Day. Anyway, we're here in our summer cabin, and I'm just going to be doing a little bit of work in zone 2, which is the kitchen. I wanted to talk you through it, and I'm going to be doing a bit of work in here just because, you know, when we get to summer, I often get that feeling that I want to have less and less around me because, you know, I need the air around me, and so I like to pack a lot of things away that we're not using, and I'm going to be decluttering a bit and just giving everything a good clean down. But if you are new to the Flylady system, go and do the 31 baby steps. There's a link up there, because the 31 days of baby steps will just launch you in gently into the program, and I'll be there holding your hand, taking you through. And you've not to worry about, you know, I'm going to be talking about detailed cleaning and decluttering. Don't worry about that in the beginning. The main thing that you need to do as a fly baby in the beginning is get your routines down pat. And for those of you who have done that, you're not going to be doing any detailed cleaning today. You're not going to be doing any detailed decluttering unless you're dressed to shoes. And I'm dressed to shoes. I've got my sandals on today. There you go. It's too hot for indoor lace-up shoes. And with the Flylady system, we have these zones because, you know, we clean the house, the main areas of the house, once a week. It takes us about an hour, and we do, you know, 10 minutes of mopping, 10 minutes of dusting, 10 minutes of taking the trash and recycling out, 10 minutes of going through newspapers, magazines. That is our basic weekly clean that keeps the house ticking over. And then we have the zones. You know, there's 5 weeks in a month, so zone 2 is the second week of the month, and that's the kitchen. And that is the time that we get to be a little more detailed in our cleaning. But remember, if you're a beginner fly baby, don't worry about that. You will get to detailed cleaning, decluttering. The main thing for you is just to keep on with your routines, add in a weekly home blessing, and you know, do that 5 minutes of decluttering every day, because it's really so easy to keep your house clean once you've decluttered, but you can do a little bit of cleaning at the same time. Right, anyway, we are in the kitchen, so this is the time of this month that you might want to think about, you know, taking down, you know, if you've got a light fitting like the one that we have there, you might want to actually just, you know, get on a chair or on a ladder, unscrew it, and wash out all the bugs that might be in there. Make sure you dry it before you put back up again. You might want to take your feather duster and do a dust. I did a detailed hoover, vacuum of this room earlier today. I actually detail vacuumed the whole cabin because it's very small. But anyway, there's a lot of things that I just need to put away and think about, am I going to keep them, not keep them, and do a bit of cleaning here. So I'll just get started. And you're welcome to clean along with me. Please don't just sit there doing nothing. Do something in your kitchen or any other area of the house. I'm just going to take off my ring so I've got my hands ready for getting into water. And I'm just going to walk and talk, but I'm putting away some things back to where they need to go. And we really do have a small kitchen, so I like to keep things in little kind of islands. So I've got the ingredients that we're going to need for dinner. I like to keep those together. Oh, and I was going to tell you, yeah, we've got this summer cabin. I'm just putting stuff away in the cupboards. We have this summer cabin, and I like to plan my menus. But sometimes, it's quite nice just to come over here, even if we haven't kind of planned it, and you want to have dinner and you haven't thought about it. A great recipe that I found, can't remember where I found it, but I'll put a link if I can find it, is to make a taco salad. Now, taco salad, I'll just show you because I'm getting the ingredients out of my, here we are, out of the cupboards. All it is you, and basically you can make up this salad using a lot of store cupboard ingredients, so that if we come over here we just need a couple of fresh things and you've got a really good salad. So it's tortilla chips, you kind of crunch those up and you layer it in a bowl with some beans. Okay, this is some Swedish ones. It says bön mix. That's just mixed beans. It's got borlotti, cannelloni and kidney beans in here. You just drain those off, put them in a bowl along with, here we are, with corn, not corn on the cob, sweet corn. So, because I always have tins of that in the cupboard here. So you have beans, sweet corn, the tortilla chips, and I've always got salsa, a jar of salsa in the cupboard here. And then to that you can, I've also got tins of olives that can go in there as well. And then just, dice up some cucumber, fresh tomatoes, and that makes a really good salad. And then you can serve it, with the salsa, some grated cheddar cheese. I've always got cheddar cheese in the fridge. So it's a really good kind of go-to store cupboard thing. Anyway, I was meant to be getting on with tidying around here. Okay, 8 minutes, right? Okay, I'm getting on with it. So I'm just putting all the ingredients for dinner on a tray, and that way it kind of keeps the place from looking so messy. Put that up there. And I've got juice bottles for recycling. Remember, in Denmark and in Sweden we have a deposit system, and it'll say pant on it, and that means you get money back on it. So that needs to go in the cupboard with the recycling. Alright. Okay, and what I'm going to do, as I usually do, is I'm just going to do a sweep, a sweep with my eyes around the room with the clock, clockwise, and I'm just wiping down the things that I see there. Let me get my cleaner, because I really like this environmentally friendly cleaner. And I'm just kind of wiping down surfaces. And remember, you don't need to move everything off, just kind of lift things up and give them a wipe. And that's another great thing that I love about Flylady, is that the Flylady, she really wants to save the planet. We're thinking about generations to come. Because we're decluttering, we're seeing all the junk that we have brought into the house, and we learn that we don't need all that junk. We don't need to buy more junk. And also the Flylady system, you know, because we're cleaning consistently, we don't need all those harsh chemicals. Hold on, I'm just going to bring you a bit closer. We don't need harsh chemicals. Well, let me just get the flowers out of the way. Aren't these lovely? These are from the garden. Great smell. Yeah. Yeah. When you're cleaning using the Flylady system, because we're doing it consistently, it never gets that dirty, and you're not going to need all those, you know, dreadful toxic chemicals. And you can see I'm not moving everything off the counter. I'm just kind of lifting things and moving them to the side. That's our bread machine and the microwave. A bit more cleaner. And this cleaner smells really good. It's really good for the environment, but it smells of lavender and mint, which I love. There we go. And if you're doing detailed cleaning, you might want to go ahead and clean out your oven or the top of the hob. That's what I like about these new modern hobs. If you can see that behind me, the black one, that they don't have kind of dials and things. It's all electronic, so there's no kind of fiddly dials that you need to watch out for. All right. I'm just going to take another cloth and do the front of the fridge. You know what? That's a couple of old magnets, and they're going in the bin for recycling. There we go. Oh, and I forgot to say to you, remember before you do any kind of decluttering or cleaning that you set your timer, because we don't want to go overboard. I don't have my Flylady timer here at the cabin in Sweden, but I do have a timer, and I've told you before, I like to use one of these, you know, actually physical timers, because if I use it on my phone, the problem is that I get sidetracked and I start looking on my phone. Right, so, and you might want to think about anything that you've got on your fridge. You know, if you've got a lot of magnets or the kids' drawings. There we go, on top of the door. Alright. Move this out of the way. So I hope you're doing something as well in your home. You're not just sitting watching me. Cleaner. Swiping down the bread bit. And then I'm going to go over to the other side. So just hold on. I shall turn you around. There we are. I hope you're not getting kind of seasick. Okay. There we go. Yeah. Can you see? There we are. And I'm just going to do the same with this end. Just moving things to the side, and all we're doing is just getting rid of any crumbs and giving it a good wipe down. And that also makes it really easy when you're doing kitchen cleanup after dinner, that, you know, we're not getting a lot of dirt building up, because you're getting rid of the crumbs every day, hopefully, when you're doing kitchen cleanup. But it's nice occasionally just to get right to the back of the counter. There we are, almost done. Move the teapot out the way. There we are, and that's me right into the corner. I don't know if you can see, no, I've kind of lost me a bit, but Right, so that's all the kitchen counters wiped down. And the next thing that I wanted to do, I said to you, I've got quite a lot of things in here that I'm not sure if I want to keep. I've got this. Let me see how we're going to do this. Down there, I've got a lot of things in this, I don't know what you call it, a butcher's block that we don't really use. So I'm going to move some of the things from there. Hold on, let me put that there so you've got something nice to look at. Right, now, the juice can stay. I've got some old tonic water that is really, really flat. And if I can get the top off it, yeah, I'll need to get my husband. Oh no, I did it, great. I'm going to pour this flat tonic water down the toilet because I think I read somewhere that, you know, the fizz in it is really good at getting rid of chalk, I think. So I'm just going to do that. I'll be back in like 3 seconds. Yeah, and that is another bottle which is going to go for recycling. And I've got an empty wine bottle here, and the reason that I keep this is I don't have a rolling pin in the summer house, so we just fill this one up and use it for, you know, around Christmas time when we are baking cookies. So that gets to stay. I've got some beer, extra beer here. I'm going to put that into storage because I've got some beer in the fridge. So I'll be back in 2 seconds. You just keep cleaning. Keep cleaning. There's the beer. I'm over here for the beer. Right, I'm back. Hello, hello. What else do we have in here? Oh yeah. Now, I've got quite a few bowls here, and I've been thinking about these for a while. And also I've got one of these things, you know, that you can fill up with water for the summer and keep it outside. That doesn't need to be right here, it's just a kind of eyesore in the kitchen. I'm going to put that away in a cupboard. I do want to hold on to it, but it doesn't need to be out on display. And these, let me see, what's this? I've got some dishes, and you know what, we're in the summer house. I mean, how many guests are we entertaining? I'm going to go ahead and declutter some of those. So I'm going to keep this one. I bought this one like at a jumble sale, and it was £1, you know, like $1.50, and it's actually in the shape of a fish. I don't know if you can see that. And we are right beside the sea, so I like that one. I'm going to keep that one. And this one is a really heavy bowl that we got as a wedding present 20 years ago, 21 years ago, I can't even remember how many years ago. I'm going to keep that because that's actually really good for salads and for trifles, so that one gets to stay. And this other glass bowl, that's really good for if we're making a lot of dough like pizza. I don't have huge mixing bowls here, so that one gets to stay. And this one I like, so it's a French one, and it goes in the oven, and it's got a little kind of kitsch basket for putting on the table, so that gets to stay. So I actually use all of those, but I don't use this one, so this one will be going to the thrift store, so out with that. And I'll put that with my recycling stuff because I keep all that together. So out with you. So I only managed to get rid of one bowl, but hey, you know, just one item at a time, if we can just get rid of one thing at a time. Because when we got this summer house, I really had to say to myself, you know what, I'm not going to clutter this house up like I did with our other house because, you know, because suddenly I've got another space to fill. I don't need to fill the space, and I like to enjoy the space. So that's it for the items that were on the butcher's block, and now I'm just going to wipe down the shelves. And already it looks much neater. So that's that. Right, and those can go back. Right, and I hope you're working too. Don't leave me on my own here. Yay, that's done. Okay, and another thing, what time is it? We've been going for 20 minutes. I've been talking for most of that. I haven't really been working that much. The next thing I'm going to do, when this is all together, is I am going to check and see what is underneath the sink. Okay, so let me push it back a bit. Let's take a look underneath there. Do you know what's underneath your sink? Do you? Are you scared to look underneath the sink? Underneath my sink I have two bags. We have a bag for food waste, and I have a bag for recycling and a bag for general trash. Here in Sweden we recycle, I'm just looking at the bins behind to remember what we recycle. We recycle food waste, coloured glass, clear glass, metal, paper packaging, you know, any kind of food paper packaging, plastic packaging, that's the main thing that we throw away, and newspapers, and then just any other waste, things that don't fit into those categories. So there's kind of 8. We've got 2 recycling bins outside, and they've each got 4 containers in them. So there's a lot of recycling going on here in Sweden. Anyway, back to what is underneath my sink. So underneath my sink I have the bags for the food waste. Oh, sorry, that's my timer going off. Oh, stop timer. Yeah, I keep the bags for the food waste underneath the sink. And the other items, you may remember I have a cleaning caddy in my house in Denmark. And I've got the same thing here in Sweden at the summer house. It's a really cheap little caddy from IKEA. And in there I keep, you know, steel wool for buffing the sink, and that's the thing that I'm going to do next. I've got the, I don't even know what you call it in English, because I buy it in Sweden and I buy it in Denmark. It's the stuff that goes into the dishwasher. Yeah, well, you know what it is, you know, that liquid. Salt for the dishwasher, my washing up gloves. I've got the dishwasher tabs in a resealable bag so they don't get wet. A couple of washing up brushes and some extra rubbish bags. And that is basically it. And that way I can, you know, open up the cupboard underneath the sink, and I'm going to wipe it out. Let me get my cloth, my cleaning cloth, and it's actually really easy to clean underneath because I'm taking this out, and this doesn't really need a clean. It looks clean to me, and then I can just clean underneath the sink. So that's what I'm doing. Because, you know, I used to hate cleaning underneath the sink. You know, you get all, there's maybe water drops or, yeah. Right, and that, if I say so, looks pretty good. I'm just going to go ahead also and clean the door, because sometimes that can get a bit splashed with food, you know, with people putting things in the rubbish. Put the door. Right, okay. And I think, listen, I don't want to be doing too much today because it is a holiday for us, but that can go back underneath. The last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of the steel wool, and normally when I wash the dishes I don't use rubber gloves, but I do when I'm using the steel wool. And on my cleaning, okay, I had to restart there because the phone, the camera just conked out, said I didn't have enough space left. Anyway, the last thing that I'm doing is giving my sink a shine with I'm giving it a really good clean with the steel wool, and that will be me. There we are, almost done. So I hope you've managed to do something today, and I was just saying that you do not have to be doing the same as me. You don't need to be spending like 30 minutes on it or whatever time we've got. Just use, if you've got 5 minutes while you're waiting for the kettle to boil, go ahead and wipe down a counter. I mean, you saw me, it didn't take long for me to, you know, just move things to the side and get rid of all the crumbs. Or while you're waiting for dinner to cook, open up a cupboard. Is there anything in that cupboard that you don't use anymore, that you could maybe give to a friend or donate, you know, to a charity store? Just use those minutes. It doesn't need to be a big chunk of time. All we want to do is see a little progress. That's all we're going for. It's not like you win this competition if you've cleaned for like 20 hours this week. It's not like that, and it doesn't have to be like that. Alright, so please don't feel, you know, if you see, you know, there's an awful lot of Flylady videos on the internet. Do not feel like your whole life has to be cleaning and decluttering. We just fit it in, and we want some balance in our lives. You know, we want some balance. We've also got to remember things, you know, we need to remember to feed the family, plan menus. We don't want to go overboard with any of these things. Right, that is my sink shined. Yay! And the place smells really good because I've got this mint and lavender smell. So all that's left for me to do is to get my cleaning cloths, and I'm going to put those into the washing basket. Just wiping this down, and let me take off my rubber gloves. I'll put those away underneath the sink, and then I'm going to say to you, have a great week in Zone to the Kitchen. Remember, anything that you can do is better than nothing. Please just do a couple of minutes, and if you do want to spend a bit more than 2 minutes, you know, while you're waiting for the kettle to boil, set your timer, all right? Because your timer is going to help you to get started, and it's also going to tell you when to stop. We don't want to go overboard, all right? So the only thing that I'm going to do now, I've got a nice, I treated myself when I was at the store to a Swedish magazine, so I'm going to sit down with a glass of water outside and enjoy the sunshine, and I shall see you very soon. Have a great week in Zone 2. Flylady Diane signing out from the wonderful south coast of Sweden. Happy Whitsun or whatever today is, and see you very soon. Bye for now.